Hey everyone, happy live stream. Today I'm joined with Adam, also known as Ad from Cronofy, the VP of Engineering. So thank you so much for joining us today and walking us through the platform and showing us how we can integrate scheduling and so many other features into our application. So what's the plan for today, Ad? And please give yourself an intro.
Yeah, thanks very much. Lovely to be here. So I'm longtime developer, part-time Vim evangelist.
Yes.
I've been at Cronofy for 6 years today, so
Well,
celebrating that as well.
congratulations.
Thank you. I'm here to give you a little bit of an idea of what we do and basically solving a lot of annoying problems around when things should happen and dealing with calendars. And we're going to integrate a bit of scheduling into a play project. Maybe a little bit of talking about Vim as well.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to all of that. I think it sounds great. Vim is such a hot topic. We won't get into it just yet. We will get into it shortly. And I love to see how you work with Vim as your IDE. I think that is, super, super interesting because, I think you got to love it or hate it. See Razvan. Hey, Razvan, thanks for being first on. And Razvan says he loves it, which is great.
I found my people. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. So let's jump in and let's get started. Anyone, if you have any questions, let us know in the chat, and I will ask Ad. Oh, I've
Cool.
just noticed I've shared half a link. I will reshare the link in the chat. Sorry, everyone. Sorry, Ad. Go ahead.
Cool. I've got the quick pitch on what Cronofy is, and then we'll actually start playing with it.
Awesome.
There's so many problems around just getting time with people. If you've ever had I'm sure everyone's had that thing where you're trying to get two people in a room at the same time. You're when are you free? And somebody's got a list of times, and then somebody can't do it because of this thing, and then you go back and forth. And then the minute you need 3 or 4 or 5 people, that problem just gets exponentially harder.
Yes.
It just gets impossible. So Cronofy is basically a suite of tools that make all of those problems a lot simpler. So you can actually get on with the value you want to get to. Nobody schedules for fun. There's something we're trying to do. We've got a whole bunch of tools that we they sort of build up in a little tower, if you want. So at the very bottom of the tower, the foundation of everything, is synchronizing calendars. So pretty popular use cases, my work calendar and my home calendar are separate. I like it that way. But sometimes for work, maybe I need to speak to someone in America, and now my time zone is shifting, so my home life is going to be impacted. So at that sync layer, we deal with a lot of problems of how do we deal with credentials? How do we talk all these different APIs to all these different calendar providers? And how do we mix multiple calendars together? And so we can start to solve that problem of home and work lives. On top of that sync layer, we've then got a bunch of APIs and intelligence around when is a good time. So we've got this thing we call the availability engine. We've got these availability APIs. You can frame questions for it. And so you can be I want a time when both of us are free, but also not on a week where I'm already doing one of these chats. I have a family to keep happy. I'm not going to do it every night. So you can start to not just solve that problem, but actually start to describe your requirements a little bit, put some constraints on it. And at the very top of this tower, we've got what we call the scheduler, which is okay, we've got all of this cool stuff. We've got all of these cool APIs. Not everybody wants to build everything. So how do we give you something that's dead easy to package up and drop into your app? And spoilers, that's what we're going to play with a little bit today.
And it's so true that I think you mentioned so many great points, but the ones that stood out for me are organizing stuff is really hard. But even when it's 2 people, are you free then? Well, no, can we do a bit earlier? Can we do a bit later? And when you add more people to the mix, it just gets out of hand. And the other one is everyone likes a different level of customization, and some people want to integrate with an API and customize it 100%, and other people like myself are keen just to happy and drop in something that's plug and play and it just works. It just links to my calendar and it just does it. So that's super interesting. I'm super excited for today. I know I'm gonna have lots of questions for you, and I can't wait to see. I have had a sneak peek of your demo just before we went live, and it looks awesome, and I can't wait.
Thanks very much. Cool. Yeah. So I really want to get into the code as quickly as possible, but I don't want to just run off and leave everyone behind. So I'm going to give you a little bit of context first. So like
Perfect.
I'll explain what we do at Cronofy. Like I say, we've got APIs for all different kinds of things, but the thing we're going to be playing with is like our scheduler product. And so this is like the top of that tower. This is like we deal with all the preferences. We deal with like, what times do you want to be free? What calendars have you got connected? Like you can see here, I'm just using a pretty standard like 9 to 5. Like, but if I'm like, actually, I hate doing meetings on Friday afternoons, I can just be like, nah, never offer Friday afternoons.
Yes.
So once you've like set that stuff up, you can start creating a request. And so like our idea is that instead of that back and forth, that like 4 million emails, I can just give you a link that I've already like filled out. I've already like customized it. I've put your name in. I've put like what the agenda is going to be. You as like, I don't know, maybe you're an interview candidate, maybe you're like mentoring someone, like whatever the circumstance is, I can invite you, and it's as simple as possible if you just go, then I'm free. So yeah, we've got this little form that you fill out. So like I'm scheduling for myself. One of the things we can do is like if I'm in a team, I can schedule for other people. Um,
Nice.
so like I'm going to invite. There's going to be a lot of Back to the Future references here. You might see I've got a Lego DeLorean sat in the background. Dealing with
Awesome.
time.
Love that.
Yeah, dealing with time is like, right, okay, we've got to have time travelers for our test data. So yeah, like I'm going to host an event. I'm scheduling as part of like Eventotron is like our play company. So like
Okay.
rather than me accidentally spamming all of my colleagues who are actually trying to get work done with invites to things. So I'm just going to invite Marty. I'm just going to keep it simple. Like I could add loads more people. I'm just going to keep it simple with 2 of us. We're just going to use this like default template name of the thing, half an hour. I'm not going to worry about conferencing, but we support all different conferencing options. Like Zoom, I can add my Zoom account, all that jazz.
Okay.
Um,
Nice integration.
yeah. And then most of the time I skip over this, but like there's a bunch of ways that I can customize it. So like maybe I know that Marty is like this this isn't like gonna fit into like the normal work week. Maybe Marty's only actually able to meet me on a Saturday. I can like override that preference stuff that you saw earlier. But from here, I create a link, and that's it. I send this to Marty, and we're off to the races. So like if I just hit preview, I'll show you what Marty would see if I like sent him this link. So really simple date picker. Like it's branded. We've actually got it behind like you can do all this stuff with like branding the link and like putting it behind your own domain.
Nice.
But this is it. There's no more back and forth. There's no more like 400
Love that.
emails. These are just the times that I'm free based on my preferences. So
Okay.
I didn't show it, but like my test calendar has a bunch of events in it. Funnily enough, we're busy right now. We are like taking all of that into account and just working out like, okay, these are the times that actually make sense for the criteria you've got. And so yeah, if I just say cool 9:30 on a Wednesday, that's it. That's now in my calendar, which I should probably prove with a refresh. So there we go. That's in my calendar. Marty's invited. Marty's got an email. Like that's in Marty's calendar. Like we're all done. So all of that pain, all of that faff, gone. So yeah.
And you mentioned time zone, no, I think that's great because you mentioned time zone previously, and Razvan reminded me that time zones does add an extra layer of complexity because so that's really good that it takes that out of the challenge, right? You're just getting to the destination which you want, which is schedule some time with someone where it's convenient for all the parties involved. So
Yeah.
I think that is great, and I love the Back to the Future references.
Good, because there's going to be plenty of them. Yeah, the time zones thing, I don't know, like if anybody has ever had that week where like especially in Europe, you're maybe talking to somebody who's in like Asia, or you're talking to somebody in America, and there's that one week where the times
Yes.
the daylight savings time changes in one but not the other.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later it changes in America, and it's like just all hell breaks loose. Yeah, we solve a lot of those problems. So I had
Perfect.
what I think is like the typical developer response when I was like I was looking for a job and I heard about Cronofy and I was like, Yeah, how hard can that be? Like, why wouldn't I just build that myself? And then over the last 6 years, all I found is more and more reasons to not build it yourself. Like, there's so much complexity around all these different rules and all these different things before you even get into like time zones, daylight savings time,
Yeah.
Microsoft changing their auth, Microsoft moving to a different API, Google adding new features, Google Meet doing different things. Like, it's, we're on like the 18th iteration of Google Meet now, I think.
Wow.
There's a huge amount that we do to try and just like, as a consumer of Cronofy, it's just like the API just works. Most of our APIs are still version 1. But that's what we do, is like we try and make cool tools that like solve problems, and then you don't have to mess with them. You don't have to think of them again. We just sit quietly in the background doing our thing, and the universe changes. We handle that, so you don't have to. You can keep on doing, the stuff you want to do, which is not normally scheduling.
That sounds really good. And you yourself and Razvan both mentioned daylight savings, and I completely forgot about that. Yes, that adds an additional layer on top of time zone of pain. Oh my god, all these bad memories are coming back to me now. On a good note, you'll be happy, Ad, that 100% of people on live stream have voted that they love Vim. So you're in a
right.
good place.
I'm in a great place. Happy day. I look forward to embarrassing myself with like some Vim mistakes then.
Vim is your IDE though. It's pretty hardcore, so I'm really looking forward to seeing this. I'm super excited.
Yeah, I've done enough talking. I think like let's get into it. Let's start playing with stuff. So yeah, like I've given you like the picture what we do, what the scheduler is. So I mentioned that like tower of like we've got all this sync stuff. We've got some like very low level APIs for like just put this in the calendar. Then we've got some intelligence like the availability APIs around like when is good for these people, and then the scheduler is like this all singing, all dancing. You just drop it in and it works. So some people use the scheduler just like I have. I've just gone to the website and used it as a separate tool. But we also have browser extensions, and they detect things like you're in Outlook. So,
Okay.
we've got an Outlook extension. You're sending somebody an email, I'll pre-populate the form with some stuff for them. And when you create the link, I'll paste the link in the email. So we try and like put all of this power like where you actually need it, so you don't have to like keep remembering to switch out to this other tool. And part of that journey is it'd be pretty rad if we like just gave this to developers to do what they want with, and like to just plug into whatever they're building and have a play with. So that's what we're going to do. So like text size, is that all right, or am I
If you can make it bigger, that will be great.
Yeah. Thankfully, there's not going to be a lot of text. So yeah, I've got a little play project here, which let's just ditch some tabs before I get lost. Yeah, so sorry, yeah, we're playing with this thing called the embedded scheduler, and we're going to sort of go through bits of this guide in embedding it. But I've got a lovely little play app here. So I didn't want to like, I don't know, build out like a million lines of code and like have all these different things going on. But the idea is like you've dealt with something that has users probably. Like, you've got like the simplest case would be like an address book, but like a case that we do a lot of work with is you're building like a hiring system, or like you're doing something that like tracks people, and like occasionally you need to talk to them. Maybe you're doing like support tickets and like third line support, and you're like, actually I want to occasionally find a chance to talk to this person, like go through it on a meeting or something. So like what it is kind of doesn't matter that much. Somewhere there will be a page with a person represented on it. And so yeah, obviously it's got to be it's got to be Doc Brown. So yeah, Lego DeLorean makes another appearance. That blue behind him might look suspiciously familiar.
Oh, so you actually took that photo? That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Okay, I mean,
Yeah.
10 out of 10 points for you.
Thank you. Commitment to the craft.
Yes, and using Vim as well. Oh my god! Like seriously, putting us all to shame now.
So yeah, we've just got this little app. It's using a web framework called Sinatra. So along with Vim, the other great like love of my tech life is Ruby. Because like obviously we dabble in a lot of things. Like I've written Go and Java and a bit of JavaScript, and like there's all these languages, but Ruby's really nice for being like Ruby's like founding philosophy is like make developers happy, and I like being happy. So, um, so yeah, I do a lot of work in Ruby. What we're using here is a framework called Sinatra. And Sinatra just makes it like dead easy to throw together a web server. So like,
Okay.
I don't know, this could have been Express. It could be anything. We're completely
Sure.
agnostic to what you're throwing around. So yeah, welcome to our super advanced web app. At the moment, there's just like a get root that renders an ERB file.
Okay.
ERB is just a fancy way of saying like HTML that you can put some Ruby in. So this is our ERB file. It's just a bunch of DOM. It's just a bunch of HTML. Oops, don't look at that yet.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoilers. So
this is good though. It shows that this is actually a live stream and not a recording, because I have seen people do live streams as a recording, and that is possible to do with like StreamYard and all those latest tools that you go live but you play a video. So this shows that it is really live and mistakes happen.
Yeah. First of many, I guess. But without the actual like adrenaline of doing it live in front of people, like yeah, I don't know. That's I'm living on the edge in technical terms today.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a dead simple app. There's just like a little bit of HTML, I think, in the source folder. There's a main.js that currently just prints hello world. Like there's almost nothing here. Like 95% of this is CSS. So if we pop the console open, we've got our hello world. So yeah, we're using Sinatra as a web framework. I'm using ESBuild to build the JavaScript. Not that it really matters, but that's just quietly sat on this server tab compiling things. So over this side is Sinatra running, and like you can see, I've just done some GET requests, and over here is ESBuild just kind of chilling, waiting for us to write some code.
Awesome. We have our first question. Is it a web component? Well, I think we're going to get to that because that was a spoiler. So
Yeah, it is. But yeah. Right. So yeah, let's actually start like pasting the thing in. So the other spoiler was that I already had this page open. So our docs, like we have a couple of different levels of docs. Like we have guides where we're, there's a whole bunch of stuff to do with time. We've got like this entire tool bag. How do you know what tool to deploy for what problem? So like we have a bunch of guides. Behind those guides, we have like the developer docs, which is me and my colleagues, basically like engineers writing guides and docs for engineers. So there's going to be a lot of like JSON floating around and stuff. But getting the embed like into your app, there's kind of two sides to it. Like the first one is like just the nuts and bolts, get the JavaScript in the right spot. So we're just going to install that. And then the second one is, how do we know it's you? And like, how do we know who you're allowed to query calendars for? So there's a couple of little steps that we're going to go through to like sign up an application as a developer with Cronofy, and then like generate some secrets that we can then use to create a JWT and just be like, okay, we know this is ad, and we know he's allowed to schedule for doc. So I mean, for some reason I'm going to go right to left, but I'm just going to install because I like.
It's okay. Mix it up a bit. I mean, you've got lots of fans in the audience anyway. I see Razvan says you use Vim, but you also use, I can't pronounce that tool. Obsidian. Yes.
Oh.
You got some fans.
Yeah. Vim team ups Obsidian are like, that's my life. So yeah. If you really want this live stream to last about 6 hours, we can also start talking about mechanical keyboards just to like really round out the like professional geek set.
We'll leave mechanical keyboards for the next
one. So yeah, I've just installed the embed.js. I should have probably like actually, I'm doing exactly what I do as a developer, which is like I don't actually read the docs. I just see some code and I paste it. I should probably pretend to be a bit more professional and actually like follow it in order.
We don't read the docs until it goes wrong. When it doesn't work, then we read the docs.
Exactly. If this gives you an insight into how we built this, though, it's very much like as developers, how do we act? Cool. So what I need to do is go and get my go and create an application. So you remember all those tabs I shut a moment ago?
Yes.
One of them I had pre-opened. I'm signing in here. No, that's not the right bit.
You got too excited to close all those tabs.
Yeah. Closing tabs is like, I don't know, it does something in my brain, makes me very happy. So one thing that I should have remembered wasn't that one. So we take compliance really seriously because we're like syncing people's calendars. Like we know where they are. And so like we're constantly building out a whole bunch of things to keep data private. But one of the other things we do is we have 6 data centers around the world that are completely isolated from each other. And what I've done in a stroke of genius is forget which data center. This one. Forget which data center I'd got the demo set up in. So there we go. This is the tab I meant to keep open. So ignore the fact that I've got 400 apps. Like I would come over here and I'd create an app and I'd give it a name. I'm going to skip a little bit of this because the next thing to happen is I need to put some secrets somewhere. And rather than do that on stream, I've already quietly done that in the background. So you can see I've come and created like an embedded scheduler credential. You can see it starts like EMB US GHN something something something. We're going to risk it all and see if. Okay, EMB US GHN blah blah blah. Yeah, right. Also, beautiful thing with Vim is that you can like customize the way certain files are displayed, and so I think most people are probably familiar with like .env. It's like you just have a like you can see this is just called like .env. Yeah.
Okay.
So you have a file you put your secrets in, so you don't check them into source control. I've got like a little thing in my Vim config where if the cursor isn't on that line, it doesn't show what the values are.
I see. Nice.
So yeah, there's my first Vim tip of the day. So yeah, following that dog, basically you like log into Cronofy, create an application, and then create a embed secret. So you've got this token, and we've popped that into our .m file. So like that's now available to my app. So now I can just come and grab the code. So we have a bunch of code samples, but all this is really doing is grabbing. Well, actually, I'll paste it in Vim. Let's not look at it there. Let's look at it in a proper editor. These are cultured people. So
we have some great comments, by the way. Razvan says, we're all friends here. We can close our eyes if you don't want us to see your secrets.
Thank you very much. Yeah, if I'll just have to shout everybody look away and hope nobody screen caps it.
Yes, exactly. And then Carl's coming up with some great questions. We'll answer the other one later on about prepending tokens with Cronofy, so you can scan for leaked keys. Interesting.
That is a great one. We don't do it for explicitly for scanning for the leaks, but that is something we absolutely should do. So thank you.
Carl's got great ideas.
Yeah, we use this idea of like composite keys a lot. So when you look at most of these things, EMB like tells us it's for the embed, and US tells us it's for the US data center. And so it means that when we're dealing with like a support ticket or we're helping somebody debug stuff, we can be like, you've got the wrong key.
We see. That's clever. I like it.
Yeah, so like I was about to show the secret one, but I've just gone to great lengths to not do that. But you might see in some of the screenshots and things like it, or like in the comment here, it says like value starting ESK. It just gives you those little hints, like that little bit of confidence that I've actually got the right value and I'm putting it in the right place.
Makes sense. That's really simple, but really clever and really effective. So I love that.
Yeah, cheers. It's yeah, we think a lot about these things, and like I say, we're also developers. We make the mistakes, then we go like, how could we make this better for everyone? So yeah, all I've done is like grab that code sample, but it's not doing anything like super amazing or anything. It's grabbing those env values that we've just written. So those are the 2 secret values I put in my environment, so I don't check them in. And then I'm using a Ruby gem, which is the Ruby name for a library, to just create a JWT, so a JSON Web Token. Yeah, the things that go inside of it. One is that public key. That's part of how we like identify that you are who you say you are. We've got some like, when did you issue this and when does it expire? So there's always that risk of anything we put in the front end that somebody grabs
Yeah.
it. A lot of things we do are about like, okay, how do we make things like alive for as short as possible and with as limited scope as possible? So like, if you're
Makes
familiar
sense.
with that like principle of least privilege,
Yeah.
that whole idea of like, what's the absolute minimum we can get away with? Yeah, we've got like an audience claim, which is like, what the heck is this for? What are you doing with it?
Okay.
We just set that to shutter embed. And then the token ID, we've just got this random UUID, which helps us with debugging and that kind of thing. Like helps
Okay.
us like spot when tokens are being reused. Yeah, we've got that little snippet of code. I'm absolutely certain I'm missing something. So let me check if anybody can see what I've missed. Oh, I know
Is it
exactly
is
what
it,
it
is
is.
it a comma? It's usually a comma. No, I'm joking.
For once, no. So I want to use this .mload helper to like
Okay.
say go off and get that .m file and actually load it whenever this boots up, because otherwise it's not going to work. The other thing is I've just pasted some code randomly in this file. It should probably be in a method. So I'm going to call that just generate JWT, like it does what it says on the tin. And so that makes a nice method. So grab those secret variables, use them to create our JWT. And then I want to put that, like the server's running this, we're looking at the server code, but I want to put that somewhere that the front end can actually use it. So I'm going to quickly say, oh, good variable name. At JWT doesn't feel, yeah, that's what it is. It's the embed JWT. So we'll do generate JWT. So what's going to happen now is when a browser makes a GET request to this server, it's going to try and run like generate JWT, which is this thing that we've just written, num 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 num, and then this at sign is basically used in like a lot of Ruby frameworks. Rails does this as well, but it's basically used to say like I'm promoting this so that the HTML can also use it. Like
Got
it's no
you.
longer like a local variable; it becomes into the scope of the views. So
Okay.
in Ruby, normally those denote things that are like object level, and web framework magic is happening that makes these viable in the rest of our stuff. So I'm just going to check that that's all wired up first, because like we've said, love to run off and not actually check it bit by bit. So
But you use, I wrote in the chat, I need to say it out loud. You use Vim like I use VS Code. I mean, it's really, really impressive. Like seriously, what a power user
it's
of Vim.
yeah, I'm addicted to it. I am like one of those zealots who loves it enough and like goes and preaches to people about how great it is.
Well,
Actually,
so go on.
no, if you just give me 30
Yeah, no
seconds.
worries.
So
While Ad is looking at that, I'm just going to read off the votes. So we've now got more votes in, and unfortunately, 100% is not love Vim, but
oh,
it's 80% love Vim. But the 20% isn't hate Vim. The 20% is not sure. So that's
okay.
pretty okay. I think it's still pretty good.
I'll take like open-minded people. Like this is a terrible thing that I presented internally ages ago that probably shouldn't be coming out on a live stream. But we were talking about like, frankly, it doesn't matter what editor you use. If you're happy, if you're productive, like
Yeah.
good on you. I make a lot of jokes about being like evangelical about Vim, but they are jokes. Like if you're happy with your editor, go for it. The thing that got me hooked on Vim though was like I tried to learn it twice and just failed miserably. Just
Okay.
didn't click with it. And the third time, I just went cold turkey. Like I got rid of all my other editors. I just used Vim.
Wow.
And this was the chart I've used to explain that experience afterwards, which is like with most other editors, it's like the blue line. It's like
Yes.
you're productive. Like it's fine. Maybe you learn some keyboard shortcuts. You install some plugins. Like maybe the plugins make you a bit better. You're like efficiency over time. Like it's good. Like it's fine the whole time and it plateaus. Vim is like the green line though. It sucks to begin with because it's so unlike anything else you've used. But every time you learn something new, it like multiplies by all the things you already know. And
Okay.
so you get this like almost like exponential growth where you just keep learning things. You're like, oh man, like I now know how to like say to Vim, do this to a paragraph. So when I learn like how to like what the key for delete is, I can now delete paragraphs rather than just characters. Or
Got
when I learn
you.
like what this function is, I can be like, okay, delete this function and paste it over there. Like every time you learn a new modifier or a new command,
Yeah.
it like clicks with all the other things you've ever learned, and so you just keep getting like faster and faster.
So what Ad is suggesting is an expression. I think I'm using it correctly, which is you burn the ships, or you what you did was burn the ships, but burn the ships. Just
Yeah,
literally, you cannot go back on your ships. You've crossed the sea to get somewhere, and you can't. Going back is not an option.
yeah, 100%. I'm not gonna lie. I think on that thing, I've got 3 weeks. It was 3 weeks of like looking longingly at the sea and going, "Remember the beautiful land we used to live on." So, yeah, the first 3 weeks kind of sucked, but by the end of
Okay,
3 weeks, like especially in that third
interesting,
week, I don't know, your brain reconfigures or something. Like I'm not entirely
interesting.
convinced that Vim isn't a mind virus. But yeah, you begin to see text differently, and you begin to like learn
like
all of this
like in
multiplication
the
stuff.
Matrix, you're gonna see
Yeah,
you
yeah,
don't see
yeah.
code anymore. You see people. Well, now we're really
Yeah,
getting a bit geeky.
it's exactly that. It's like yeah, you're just like cool. I just go bop bop. When it's in your muscle memory is the real magic because you
Okay,
stop thinking about what you like need to press to make it happen, and it's just like oh, I need that over there, and before you know it, your fingers have just done it.
nice.
So yeah, it's a running joke at work about how I'm the cheapest person when it comes to like our budget for mice. Like I just don't touch it. It's like occasionally the mouse moves, but yeah, not often. I forget to charge it. Actually, I
That's
guarantee
awesome.
it's yeah okay. It's on 37%. Yeah, I constantly forget to charge it. Right. Sorry. Okay. There's my evangelism done for a little bit. Yeah, so we had put in the server side, we've put this like generate add JWT using those secrets. And then here, this is ERB, so that stands for evaluated Ruby.
Okay.
It's a bit like JSX, where you're like able to mix your language and the HTML you're producing together. So this was our like little card for Doc Brown. This lovely little like percent equals is saying like run some Ruby and then put the value that comes back like where this tag is.
Okay.
And so I'm grabbing that embed JWT value. The square brackets dot dot five is just like a slightly weird way of saying like just grab the first 5 characters. So
Okay.
I'm still
Nice.
trying really hard to not expose any credentials during a stream. But I mean, fingers crossed. Where were we? Hey, so we've got our first 5 characters of our JWT.
Okay.
So it's probably working. Like we've started to get things wired up. So that's kind of like the back end bit done. Like we're
I like that. Looks good.
yeah, generating a JWT, doing the thing. So I need to throw the button on a page. So in our docs, like we explain the JWT. We give you the thing to go off and like install the embed JS that I naughtily did out of order. And then like you have to go and import it. So if we go to my lovely main.js, which is still just doing hello world, probably don't need that anymore. We'll just like pop our import in. So with the import loaded, yeah, web component time. So that JavaScript exposes a web component which has the scheduler button in it. So this, why am I copying and pasting it? There's a copy button right there.
We all do that.
Yeah, I'm glad it's not just me. So if I come over here, I'm going to ditch that like first 5 characters, and I'm going to paste this in. So this is saying like whenever that JavaScript fires up, like go and find this marker and put the scheduler button there. So I can give it an ID. I'm going to keep it as my scheduler button now, just because I'm not feeling very imaginative at the moment.
Naming is so hard.
Oh man, it's yeah, yeah, what's the thing about like naming and caching validation are the two hard problems in our profession.
Yeah.
And then yeah, it takes that embed token. So I'm gonna throw embed token. Learn Vim, don't learn to type. There we go. So yeah, that is hopefully it, and then we'll come back to what that DOM's actually describing in a sec. Ooh, I've got a button. The embed token attribute is missing. What have I done wrong? I've called it embed token. It's embed JWT, isn't it? I think that's it. Aha! Yes, there we go. So, if you remember all the way back to the start when I was like, hey, we make this product. This is it, embedded. So I can say, yeah, create a new request.
Nice.
It knows it's logged in as me because I'm in the same browser session. But it's also, it's already pre-populated. If you remember during the demo, I had to like choose who I was inviting. Those meta tags on this element that we've just dropped in, on this bit of DOM, let you fill out the form already. So, you know, if this was like a full React app, you could just be like, cool, embed it and put this user's details in, or, you know, however you use it, whatever framework you're using, if you can inject variables into a HTML element, you're good. Like you can integrate this. You can also, like, these are optional. So like you could also just like get rid of them.
Okay.
Like make that 30. So you could still make the user fill things out, but that's not really embedding. Like, I don't know, that's, you know, you're making people do work. And my other great love, other than Vim, Ruby, mechanical keyboards, is home automation. It's like I love not doing things. So yeah, there we go.
Home automation. I haven't got into that because I know it would consume me and I would love it and it would take over my world. So I'm not getting into that at the moment.
Yeah. The only warning I will give you is like, don't ask me to express as a percentage how much of my salary goes on home automation stuff. It's
Wow.
that's yeah.
Wow. I have seen some really crazy things online though, that people are like watering their plants, doing all sorts of things, but then they're running Kubernetes to do all this thing, and it's just like, okay, I don't think you got that many plants. You need a whole Kubernetes cluster.
Yeah, I need high availability for my doorbell. Yeah, it gets that way. Sorry, just a short aside on that. This was my COVID project. Was like, if I'm going to be stuck inside my house,
okay,
I'm going to mess around with stuff, and I replaced my doorbell with like, I wanted one that would like ping my phone, but I didn't want to pay a subscription, and I didn't want to like just get an off the shelf thing. So I replaced my doorbell with a webcam running like image detection models to work out when a person walked up to my door. But the result was that like my doorbell was now costing me like 60 quid a year in electric. And the weirdest thing was people were constantly like, oh, your doorbell's broken. And I had to put a cheap like £10 AliExpress doorbell that just went bing bong. Just for like the human factor of people really didn't like walking up to the door and not having a doorbell. Right, sorry.
But the human factor is so important with everything. I mean, we're in tech, right? The user experience is so important. Like, again, one side note, I don't know if anyone's taken coins to those machines where you put all your coins in and then it counts it and gives you like the notes back. The noise you hear, if you record it or if you listen to it, it's the same every time because it counts your coins in like a second and everyone's like, well, it obviously counted it wrong. So what it does is it just plays this audio over and over again for like, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds to make you feel like it's really counting. But it done it a long time ago. I found that so interesting.
That's so cool. I'm very into like product design and like how do you make things fit for people, and it's that kind of thing where, you know, people putting spinners on things to slow them down just so it feels more impressive.
Yes.
We have literally had that conversation about some of our availability stuff because we're pulling like, one thing that we do is, let's say you've got like 100 engineers and you're doing like a technical interview. So you're like, I want the hiring manager and I need 2 engineers. We will like calculate all the possible permutations of those 100 engineers to work out like what times are available. And like, we do some pre-pruning to make it faster, and then we like take this subset and like we run more of their stuff, and then we work out like who's not available because they've already done too many to it. We've got all these stages. It's like a whole multi-part process. But we've literally had that conversation about like we've made it so fast that people now like don't really like twig what's actually happening and like the amount of data that's being pulled in. It's like we could put a spinner on it so it looks more impressive. We're like, no, keep it fast. Like the people who get it, they'll really love it. But
hopefully,
yeah,
they will.
That psychology angle of it is just remembering there's always a person on the other side of it.
Yes, it's true. It is so interesting.
I'm going to use that as a segue. So,
okay, yeah, perfect.
We've got this form again. Like it's pre-filled. I create the link. Like we're all good. Talking about like UI and stuff. This is like CSSable. So
okay, perfect.
We've got some stuff that I'm probably going to skip now for time.
Sure.
But you can like change the look and feel of the button. You can change the size of the dialogue. We go for like quite a small one to begin with, which is like maybe too small. I think maybe it should be a bit bigger. Like this can be a bit cramped, but it's also like it means that you can drop it in and know it's going to work. So you can then like size it or like change this like fade out, all that kind of thing to like make it like really fit in your app. But yeah, so there's a little bit of stuff there, but it's like we've kind of got this thing now where it's embedded. We can start scheduling. Like it's pretty good. We've solved the problem, but we haven't really got like a way of closing the loop at the moment. So like me as a developer, I want to know when somebody's pressed that button and like, or I want to like know what the link was that was generated. So maybe I'm going to send it internally or something. So we have a whole bunch of like listeners that you can start hooking up. We've got like these UI events that we pop out of that DOM element. So if we grab this and we'll head over to our JavaScript. So we go to main.js. Right, I've already done this once today. I can't just paste code randomly in a file. So we are going to fire up a ready event listener. So we want what? DOM content loaded. Yep. And then we'll give that a function. And then I'll put this in there. So what we're doing here is saying like, as soon as our JavaScript is loaded, semicolon, learned that lesson 100 times in my career. So as soon as our DOM is loaded, like go off and find that web component, like go and find that embed thing, which I lovingly still used as like my scheduler button, I think was the idea on it. That's the other reason why I didn't change it, is because I know that all of our docs refer to it by the same thing.
Got you, yeah. Keep it simple, I like it.
Yeah. And then, so there's a bunch of events that we can listen to that this thing emits. So like the one that I've copied is scheduler dialog opened. I'm just going to like log out that that's what's happened. So let's just check that actually works. So yeah, cool. So what I've got is just like a normal DOM event that's been triggered, and then I can just listen to it. So again, we've tried really hard to like stick to standards. So this will work with React, it will work with Vue, it'll work with plain old JavaScript, like whatever, crack out the jQuery if you're feeling vintage. Like it should just work with anything, because we've like lent on standards wherever we can. So yeah, there's a bunch of events that you can listen to. So there's like having the thing opened, having it closed. The more interesting one is probably this one of like somebody's actually created a request.
Okay.
So they've not just opened, like the opened and closed are great if you want to make your UI react to what's happening. Like maybe you want to like, I don't know, do some extra stuff like fading out or what have you. But like this is the really powerful one, which is like I actually want to get back the details of what Cronofy has just done. Like this is where we sort of like actually close the loop on the integration. So if I copy and paste the right thing, if I copy and paste that event, so frankly, I can't remember what that event emits. So I'm just going to run it again and see.
No problem. We are live. It shows that it's true, not edited, not edited video.
So I'm going to create one. Okay, so we got this triggering when it completed. Detail, that's it. So inside this detail attribute, you get this scheduling request object, which has just got like everything about it. So this like coordinator sub is who I'm logged in as. Like I'm coordinating this event. Like I said about you can schedule on behalf of other people. You can host it as well. So like in that case, the host and the coordinator are the same person.
Got you.
Like we just give you all the details of what we know about what just happened. So we know that somebody did it for 13 minutes. We know it was a driving lesson, like all that good stuff. We also give you like what the primary select URL is. So good times. I've now got that URL that I could put into my app somewhere, put it into a database. So yeah, let's maybe throw that around. So what we had was event.detail.scheduling request. Just going to double check. Underscore. There we go. So event detail scheduling request.
It's great to see you do this because it's something I would do as well. So I'm glad it's not just me. Everyone else seems to make everything look so easy and they're so fast and they're so perfect. I'm like, I'm the only one who makes these mistakes. So it's great it's not just me.
No, it's authentic. I'm authentically very forgetful. So despite saying like, oh, I've worked here for 6 years, I don't remember what the names of the attributes are. I'm just going to go and look them up. Okay, so that should get us a URL, and then maybe this time we're going to console log like so if I go off and create a link now. One thing I keep skipping over actually is like we also give people some shortcuts. So like if I select this one, it just pre-fills based on something I've done previously.
Okay.
So I don't know if you were making an app that's like for sending out 100 interviews for the same role, maybe you go off and it's easier for people to just go, yeah, same again, but change the person, same again, but change the person, same again, but change the hiring manager, and they can rattle through it. So yeah, we got our link.
You really thought of everything. I like that. Things that just, I guess I haven't come to that situation, but it makes complete sense. And I could see me coming to that situation. Like,
yeah, it's where the like, I don't know, the philosophy we try and come at things with is like, do we actually understand what people are doing? Like it's always fun to like build features and to just bash code out.
yeah.
But when you're doing that because like you really understand what somebody's trying to achieve and you can like help them actually make their lives a bit better and get rid of some pain is yeah, I don't know. That's what keeps me in engineering. That's what I love about, you know, building stuff. So yeah, there we go. Like we've got a link out to the our page, so I can schedule things. So like we can sort of close the loop there. We could throw this like somewhere else in our DOM. I think being mindful of time. I'm going to skip over that because hopefully people can see like you get this detail back. Use whatever framework you love to pop that link or a notification or inject it into an email, like whatever it is that facilitates that going where it needs to. You've got a handle on what the link for that one is now, what the link for that request is. The other things that we do is like I've sent that link out into the wild and then I've navigated somewhere else and I have no idea when Marty is going to actually pick that time. So like there's still a whole, we've got more of integration now. Like we've been able to pre-fill the form, we've created our link, but how do I know when it's actually like used and the event is created? Because maybe I want to do some stuff off the back of that. So a bit like these notifications and events that are popping off in the front end, we also have the ability to have you configure something for your server and have the server catch events as well. So okay. If I can hustle through this, we'll add that.
I'll try not to interrupt you too much.
So, are you familiar with ngrok?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a tool that sets up like a public endpoint, and it like funnels any web traffic that comes from that endpoint back to your machine. So it's great for dev. I have. I thought it was make ngrok. Oh, it helps if you're in the right folder.
I use something else. I use an npm package. I can't think what it's called now, but it's a similar sort of thing.
Okay, cool. Yeah, there's a bunch of ways of doing this, and like, yeah, roll your own with DNS or stuff. But I
no, I don't do that. I don't roll my own. That's for sure.
I'm talking to the Kubernetes to water my plants.
Yeah,
That one.
yeah.
So yeah, this is now just like quickly fired up this endpoint pointing at my local machine. So if I hop over to my credentials page, so this is a couple of steps ago. This is where I came. I generated those credentials to be like, this is my embed. This is me using it. If I pop that URL in there, now whenever the scheduler does something to one of the requests, it will fire a webhook at that endpoint.
Okay, perfect.
And so I can then have a server just sat there listening for stuff going on there. So I think I'm going to restart it just out of an abundance of caution. I think it should have probably been fine. But if we go through it now, and we'll create a request. Okay, so that should have triggered a response back here. He said, oh, why hasn't that stopped loading? That's making me nervous.
It's live. It's okay. It's normal.
It's that sign, that little sign of like a tab that hasn't fully loaded. I'm like, why?
If it wasn't live, it'd probably work. That's the thing.
Yeah. It's every live demo I've ever done. Something goes wrong at some point. You all saw me save that in that tab, right?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's there. Okay. Well, I'm not going to jump into debugging that in production, but it does like we have customers in production with this. It does some things. I don't get why this tab isn't finishing to load. It makes me think that something's askew.
Yeah, something might be blocking it. I mean, it could be a variety of things. It happens.
Yeah. What I was hoping to do though was like you'd see, that detail block that we had in the console.
Yes.
Basically, the same thing arrives via the webhook. So you get like the same IDs, you get all the details about the event. And then there's a couple of things that like are glossed over in here. So like obviously you can change like who it is and what their name is and what their organization is. There's also this thing called correlation ID. So another thing that we do a lot in Cronofy that people don't always expect is you've probably had this thing where like you use an API and you ask it to create something for you, and then it sends you an ID and you store that ID so you can get it later. Yeah. One of the things we try really hard to do is like you tell us what you want this to be called.
Nice.
You give us the ID. So the correlation ID on these is like it follows the request around, and so you can always go like, okay, here's the ID. I know what it means. I can like bring it back to whatever it is in my model or in my universe. So yeah, just making it easy to join those dots up. So all of our APIs for like creating events, you tell us what the ID is. And then cool. If bit like the stuff that we talked about earlier with like maybe you can put some details about like it was this data center or it was this customer. Yeah, just helps you know what you're looking at more of the time.
Oh, that flexibility, because sometimes you do want that customization.
Yeah, and it's also like, I don't know, like tech is hard, man. Like there's so many moving parts. If you can just make like an ID, just whisper at you, by the way, I came from like the US or something like that. It just helps, it's all these little things that really make our jobs just that bit easier. And that means that you can move a bit faster and you can understand quicker. And, it's all that good stuff. So yeah, like sneaking some details in. I've noticed that finished loading and I was hopeful that was going to retry. Okay. Here's another thing that we do that you might not think about. So there's a whole bunch of push notifications we send. Like we've just talked about this one for the scheduler to be like something's happened. But if you're using our APIs for like has somebody's calendar changed, like let's say you want to like have a full copy of their calendar or their availability for your own work, you can register like tell me anytime ads calendar changes, and like we'll send you a notification to be like it's changed. Come and get that data. So it makes it way easier for you to not have to worry. Like you do that integration once, you don't have to write one for Google, one for Outlook, because Outlook.com still separate from Microsoft 365.com.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's a whole rich history of different services. We just abstract all of that away. So hopefully we give you like a nicer API that you can then use. But the other thing is we don't assume everything's going to work,
Okay.
which, not a reflection on anyone's abilities. It's just the reality of the thing. So if we send you a notification and your app times out, or we get like a 500 or a 403 forbidden, like we get some error back, we will kind of go like, okay, we'll give you a few seconds and then we'll retry it. And then, okay, if that one also errors, we'll give you a few more seconds and retry it. And we do this like spaced back off thing. So in some cases, people build like an API, they use the API, something happens with their load balancer reboots or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
The internet's held together by pixie dust as far as I can
It
understand.
is.
Yeah, something happens. Message doesn't arrive where it's supposed to be. If that message isn't resent, you've kind of like lost that state change.
I
You've lost that
see.
information forever. So we do a whole bunch of logic around like, okay, how do we make like absolutely our best bet at getting this information to you? So we do all this like space back off stuff and retries. But then there's the other problem of like, if everything backs off for like say 5 seconds and then retries, what if you're actually suffering a denial of service attack and then we just slam all of this data back into you at the same time? So we also then like jitter all of those retries and like spread them out for you
Oh, I see.
so that
Okay.
you don't get impacted. There's like 100 little things like that we do to just try and make it like easy and robust to work with. So yeah, like we're saying about the psychology of it, it's like I've been on call. I do not enjoy getting paged at 3 in the morning. So yeah, if we can think of answers to that kind of problem as well, like we just solve that once.
I love that. I love that they try to like think of not only the user experience and the scheduling and all that sort of great stuff, but you're also thinking about the infrastructure and all those sorts of things, which I think some people focus on one side and forget the other. So like it might functionally be amazing in terms of the integration and the server and all the rest and infrastructure, but then the UX is not very good. But it's great that you've thought of both, that you've got the great UX and you've also got that that nice friendly infrastructure communication, let's say, because the retries are great, but like you said, not if you're having a DOS attack and you don't want more to add to it. So, yeah, I like that. Really good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, thank you. It's I don't know, we've been doing this a while. So it's constantly like, okay, how can we do it a bit better? Like what's some other options? So yeah, just to close out like the bit that we didn't get to, like there should have been a push notification come back. But there's other things that we do for embedding. So I've actually switched to like an internal demo. This is like essentially the internal. It's very similar to what I've just shown you, but it's the internal one we use for development and we use for like checking these things out. So this is a similar situation to like we've embedded the button a bit like on this page, and then created something. But that page that you get redirected to, like the slot picking page, which like you can brand and everything, but the slot picking page, we also have an embed for that. So if you're like, actually, I want to maybe like more white label it, like I want to make it like keep people within my app, even the person I'm sending this link to, like maybe it's an internal use case, or maybe you're like, I don't know, you're hiring people and you're like, they should have an account with me as well, and like that's where they can see all their jobs and whatnot. Yeah, we have an embed for that. You can see there's another one referenced here, which is the cancel button. We have a button that you can embed to just very quickly make all the API calls to be like, actually, no, cancel that one I just created. So yeah, we've got more of this kind of thing in mind as people work with us. One thing that we really like is like, I know, working with engineers who give us good feedback, and then we go like, oh, cool, yeah. Actually, it would be nice if it could do that. And so a lot of our features and a lot of our ideas come from people just going, yeah, this was a real pain in the butt to do. And then we go like, oh, actually, we could solve that, and we'd solve it for everyone. So,
yeah, which is great, right? If you get your solve for everybody, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know, it's my jam. I love that. Like that's why I became an engineer. Is like I like making stuff, and I love that feeling of like, oh, I've solved this once, and now I don't have to do it again. So yeah, I mean, it's why Vim is like a really good fit for my brain. Is like if I write a little macro, if I get a plugin, it's like solves that problem forever. Never have that problem again. Good times.
Although talking about Vim, I know you love Vim, but the stats are not looking good. So now the love for Vim in the poll that's happened. So hey, Francesco, please vote in the poll if you haven't already. We've now got 50% love for Vim, 25% hate, and 25% not sure.
Okay,
So
okay.
no, it's not too
Yeah.
bad. It's not too bad. Love is still kind of winning, but it's not 100%.
Yeah, the love conquers all, but for editors. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the things that put me off Vim is like it feels really complicated. And there are, okay, maximum hypocrisy, but there are really annoying like fanboys out there who are just like, no, you have to use it. Going back a step to that thing of like use what makes you happy, like use what makes
Yeah,
you productive. Like I have a
definitely.
very particular setup with like Vim, and Tmux is what's creating these tabs rather than actually being my terminal
Got you.
itself. But that
Okay.
means if I SSH onto a server, I can have exactly the same setup. Like I can have the same
I
tabs.
see.
It doesn't care so much about like what's installed there as long as like these two tools are there, everything's good.
Got you.
So it's another like bit of that mental state of like trying to make things that play well with everything else. And so
Yeah.
that's in the tools I use, that's in like the product we're building. It's like just try and stick to standards where you can, like try and come up with something that's like really powerful and can do a lot with a little.
Which is it's a great mantra to have. To do a lot with a little, I think, is so important. Where you get, I mean, same thing with people's projects, right? Some people put like a few kind of, I don't know, take npm for example, a few npm packages or a few project dependencies. We can keep it generic, and you got other people who kind of know hello world in all these dependencies, and then they just use another dependency that has 90% the same functionality, but they've just taken like the hello world example from the homepage, and then you see them, they've got like, I don't know, 5 gigs of front end dependencies, which I've seen. I kid you not. I've been to a project. I was like, why is this front end project so big? I clone it. It's like almost 5 gigs. And they have literally got like every single npm package being used, and it's like, well, most of these are, well, a lot of these are 90% the same. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just absolutely crazy. So I like what you said. I really like that.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because it's like I definitely make a mess sometimes where it's like I'm just prototyping. I just want to like figure out a problem.
Yeah.
So like I think there's definitely a time to be like, yeah, copy and paste it, don't care. But I think especially in like something I don't feel like we talk about as much now as we did like maybe 10, 15 years ago was like the craft. And I know that like some people don't like that terminology, but that idea of like woodworking, where there are people who like, they become journeymen, they become apprentices. This always sits on my desk, which is the pragmatic programmer. If there's
Nice.
one book on being a good engineer, like I love this thing, which is why it's so battered. But yeah, like thinking of it as like a craft, and it's like it's one thing to like make something work, and that's awesome, but like it's another thing to make something that's got like longevity and like
Yeah.
love and craftsmanship in it, and it's going to work really well, and it's going to work for a long time, and that there is a time and a place for both. Cronofy, like I don't even know, like we're over a decade at this point of the platform existing, and because a
Wow.
lot of love
Okay.
was put, our founders are both technical and put a lot of love into the first version of the API design, which means most of our APIs are still on version 1, and like some people integrated like 8-9 years ago never had to touch that code again. Whereas, you can probably bolt something together and then, oh no, this dependency is broken, and this thing's now no longer valid, and it was hard to add to this thing. So I think there is a lot to be said for like the craft of it, and like really loving what
Yeah.
you make, and putting a bit more love and thought into it. But that's not all the time.
But I do like that. I think that's really important. And you have that book on your desk, which is, I've got that book somewhere. I think I've got a digital version because I just had too many books, and I try to get a digital version of all those books so I can take them around with me when I travel the world. So, but it's good. I've got to read that book. I haven't read it in a while. So I have read the book. I've got to reread the book, I should say.
Yeah, funnily enough, I didn't read it for about 10 years, and then this summer reread it. And I was like,
Okay.
man, this is good. So it made its way back onto my desk after that. So there's definitely a couple of chapters now where you're like, yeah, okay, that's the world has changed a little bit. But then
Yes.
I'm not on. I think there's a more up to date edition than the one I've got.
Okay. I'll have to have a
But
look at what version I've got.
yeah, But yeah, no, I love this book. I think that and Extreme Programming Explained is another like absolute
Okay.
classic that I reread. That's also on my desk actually. That's it's one of those that like you come back to periodically. So you can see it's full of paper where I've like
Well,
bookmarked things.
let's have a look.
There you
I
go.
don't think I've got that one. Okay.
Yeah, so Kent Beck. Um,
Okay.
yeah, those two are like we bring up juniors by like a lot of the time they start in as support agents with us, and so they learn the
Okay.
product, and then as they get more technical, we see if they are interested in becoming engineers. Those are the two books that like are always my top of my recommendation list. 'Cause it doesn't really speak to like a particular framework or like even a particular language. It's just like here are just like good lessons that are condensed down, and especially like Extreme Programming Explained. That's a really tiny
Yeah,
book,
it is.
but
Yeah.
it's just absolute wisdom the whole way through.
No, I love that. That's so good. And I think, with AI now, not to get into the whole conversation, but we do, I suppose, read less. I do audiobooks. I say read. I now I do more audiobooks when I'm in a gym or cutting the grass or going for a walk. I love to listen to audiobooks. So I do get sad when there aren't certain books don't have the audio version. But I just feel it helps me multitask a bit better. Or if I'm on holiday and sitting on the beach, I kind of just want to look at the sea, but I'll just have an audiobook playing.
Yeah, exactly the same here. Like I love a good audiobook. The only problem is I have a bad habit of like especially listening to them near bedtime and like falling asleep, and then you wake up at like 3 a.m. and there's like 7 chapters gone and you got no idea where you were. So
I usually do. I think you could do sleep. Like I do like 30 minutes sleep, and so therefore I only have to go back a little bit.
yeah, if I could only get that habit, I constantly forget. I'm like, So I mean, on the flip side, I really get the material in my head because I have to listen to it 6 times.
Yeah, I do really re-listen to stuff as well because I usually do like 1.5 speed, and then I re-listen to it again, and I pick up different things each time. So I think that's definitely valuable. So those of you watching this live stream, this live stream will be up as a VOD, the video on demand. So you can go and watch it all again later. And you can also watch sections of it or bits of it, especially if you're interested in anything in particular. So yes, go back and recheck things out. So how are we doing, Ad? I know I talk loads. So I just want to check in with you and how are we doing on the things that you want to get done?
No, I think we're pretty much there. Like
Okay.
we've managed to integrate this. Like we've got our front end notifications going. Back end
Yes.
notifications didn't
Yes.
show up, but I'm not
But
going to
well,
sit and
not
talk
yes,
about
they didn't show up, but yes, that you've got it there and it does
yeah.
work. And there's when you're routing from, I think, external into, when you've got firewalls and you've got NATs and you're in your router and all it does sometimes trip up, and it does happen. It happens to all of us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those really weird things where it's like actually doing it in production is easier because you've normally just got
Yes.
like, there's just a server sat there and you just shout at that
Yes.
server that already has got traffic going to it.
Yeah, I get the same when doing adding payment to certain platforms, and then you've got like the webhook when you're testing stuff in dev, and you're like, oh, in production this will be so much easier.
Yeah.
So yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Which, I mean, kind of like kudos for the fact that we've built a world now where actually it's kind of easy to get things done in prod because, yeah,
Yes.
thank goodness. But yeah. I mean, this is like, obviously I could talk for hours about
Of
this. Like we've got
course.
we've got like workflow stuff, we've got integrations with different platforms. So like you can have different things fire off when like that booking link happens. You can actually like wire stuff up. All the things that we use in the scheduler, like going back to that tower I said at the very start, we've got like low level stuff that's just talking about events and syncing multiple calendars. Then we've got availability stuff, and then we've got the scheduler. Because we've built the scheduler on top of our own APIs, if you wanted to do like a really specialized version or you wanted to like really change something about it, all the APIs are just there. It's you can build whatever you want with it. We use the analogy a lot of like we've built Lego bricks, and then we've kind of like the scheduler is the model that we've built. That's the one that's on the box that the instructions come with. But yeah, just
I love
like
that.
yeah, yeah, it's all there for people to build with. So yeah, docs.cronofy.com is kind of the like starting point. So
Cool. I will share that in the chat.
have some like explainers on these things, but like if you go into the developers section, this is the sweet shop for me. This is where all the stuff we're working on is. So um so yeah, it's like if you can imagine anything that maybe puts something in a calendar or wants to know when somebody is free, like there's a very good chance that we've built something that will help you make something awesome way quicker and way easier. And we can take some of that, like the bit, like I said, nobody schedules for fun, apart from us. So it's a fun obsession to have. But yeah,
Well,
just
the way I see it is, I think you do all the heavy lifting, and then what you leave is the building blocks, the Lego building blocks, which is the fun part, because no one wants to build the blocks in Lego, right? They just want to use it to build whatever they need. So I see that like as Cronofy, you've built the tool set, the building blocks, and we can do the fun part, what we want to do. So I think that's great. So I think everyone listening, go have a try. Any questions? If anyone has any questions, do you have a way people can reach you or reach the community or anything like that?
Yeah, every page everywhere has like a support widget on it, or support at cronofy.com. You'll either hear from me or one of my great colleagues. We have a really good support team. But yeah, just excited to see what people build with it. Like it is great fun to be like, here's some Lego and just see what comes out of it.
So everyone, if you do share your projects online, don't forget to tag Cronofy and tag me. We really want to see what you're building. I can't wait. We've got the whole week ahead and the week ahead of you. So hopefully we'll hear something from you all soon. Any closing notes, Ad? Because I've really enjoyed today's live stream. Thank you so much for taking us through this. I have some ideas. I've been making notes as we go along. I'm like, I could build this. Oh, I could do this now. So many things that I wanted to do, but I didn't want to actually do the painful part of integrating with different calendars and all the rest. So you've given me lots of ideas. Any closing notes that you would like to leave with anybody?
Man, so many. No, I think love to see what people build with this stuff. Especially like the availability things about like being able to work out, like take all of that pain out of when are people free, and all that faffing around with emails back and forth. I know in the Lego analogy, I guess like I'm I don't know, plastic chemist or something who like really loves knowing exactly what the bricks are made out of. But the real fun of it is just seeing what people make. So have a go. Like let us know how you get on. Love any feedback, love any questions. But yeah, just have a good time. Like engineering is a lot of fun. Software development is a lot of fun. And hopefully we've taken a load of the boring bits away. Go for it.
I love that. You've given me some ideas. I'm just thinking of, we organize like Discord calls, and I wonder if we can like, somehow have like a command on Discord that does stuff. Okay, I've got the cogs are turning in my head, so I'll have a think and see. And I know a lot of people in the community would have lots of like great ideas, as we saw before with Razvan and Carl. They've got lots of questions and thoughts and ideas. So I look forward to following up with them afterwards and chatting with them. But Ad, thank you so much for taking the time today to go through this with us. I have thoroughly enjoyed it, and I love your passion not only for Cronofy but also for Vim and Lego and Back to the Future as well. I was watching what's that new show, Stranger Things. The new season came out, and I'm not massively into it, but I watch it with Sarah. But then in the middle, they reference Back to the Future. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but basically they want to get out of some situation from the younger kids want to get out of the kind of situation from the parents. So we've got to go fix that. There's something wrong with that red light. The flux capacitor is obviously down, and all the kids are like, huh? And I am literally laughing so loud because obviously I know it's some sort of trick that they're trying to get away from their parents. I'm so going to use that in the future. But yeah, it was it was brilliant. So I love the references. It was great. So thank you again so much.
Got that to look forward to. No, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you for letting me share some of what I love and some of what I work on. Like, really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to bring the timer up for a minute. Ad, please stay on the call and I can thank you personally afterwards. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. I see more people are joining now. You can catch up on the live stream afterwards, and there are links in the chat and in the description below to go check out Cronofy and their docs as well. Have a play and let us know how you all get on. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Ad.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.